on that team were maybe a little bit too tired, and they, like you mentioned, especially in the early game, they were just not playing characteristically of themselves at all.
Yeah.
And on top of it being a long game, it was an hour-plus game, and Team Habit now had the lead, and they lost it in a very long game, and that's got to be demoralizing. That's got to be tiring.
It does.
And so it's going to be a combination of those two things. Complexity already being warmed up now, and then that. I think Complexity is going to look really, really much better in this game.
Yeah, it's really got to be bittersweet. I mean, again, knowing that you are the underdogs going into the match, but to be so close to actually beating them, it's like, oh, but we lost in the end. So, game number 2, though, it has officially started. Both teams are in the lobby, or not even in the lobby, in the hero selection stage. So let's go ahead, jump into game number 2. As you can see, the blind band stage already happening. Now going to be going into the locking stage. Ophelia and Keeper of the Forest taken care of over here by our Legion team. Tundra and Fade coming out from Complexity. So Keeper of the Forest, as usual, had a very big impact last game, being played by Chessie, of course, for Complexity. This time, Rhythme does not want to have to deal with him, so can't say I'm too shocked about that one.
Yeah, a couple other interesting things, too, is Rhythme locking Magmus. After, of course, Complexity playing him. I love Magmus in this metagame right now. I think he's so damn strong. I think he can be played as a number of different things, as a second support and a, semi-carry. But Magmus is locked, and then they actually go ahead and blind ban the Ophelia, even though they're first pick. So I always kind of find that, I mean, with a number of heroes, like when you think of, say, Tundra, if you blind ban him as first pick, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Another hero maybe is Draconis, or I don't know, something like that, or Wild Soul. But I really feel like Ophelia, you can never go wrong picking Ophelia. Yeah. And so that's kind of been a little bit interesting. But nonetheless, not the biggest deal in the world. Other locks coming out from BKit are Bubbles and then Pharaoh. So again, going with that thing I talked about, Complexity likes to lock both junglers and suicide heroes.
Yeah, and then how about that, though? Rampage going to be locked here by Rhythme. So that's kind of another way to approach this, too. You know, going into game number 2, especially after the way that game would finish, you were so close. Maybe this time it's again more so even loosen up. Be like, you know what? We had our chance in that game number 1 with running a very legitimate strategy, just weren't able to pull through. Let's maybe throw a curveball this game. Let's do something different. Let's maybe even have a little bit of fun in that sense and see what can happen. Maybe that's the reason for the lock pick on, or the lock of Rampage, or maybe it's just simply more of a trollish lock when it's all said and done. But Rampage, I mean, what do you think? Does he actually have a place? Can he be played?
I actually saw him in a scrim or was it scrim? I can't remember, but I saw him there's actually the lock of Plague Rider. I was expecting to actually have to lock a trollish lock right there. So now there's 3 suicide heroes right there, and that makes it a little bit easier on Complexity. But going back to your question on Rampage, I think really the only way he can be played, I've seen him in dual lanes, even with dual lane and a Luna or another strong support, and it just doesn't seem to really, I mean, it works well as it should against any solo hero, or any really dual lane should be the solo hero, but I feel like he's actually best matched if you have a solo versus solo, like if he's in the short lane, because he does so much damage with his 2 passive abilities, the bash and the other one I can't remember what it's called here. The
Horn Strike, I believe, is
his second ability. Where
the hell is
it?
It
gives him just more damage.
Might of the Herd.
Yeah, that one. And so I think that played as a solo shorty can work. But going into the bans right now, we have Engineer, Darkly, Tempest, and then Parasite.
Yeah. So, of course, 2 more going to be coming out right here. Plenty of extra time already being used by Rhythme. So, thinking about his personal 3rd and final ban here, obviously. As always, still plenty of options left on the board. You know, Jeremiah actually made it through, I believe, last game. And especially with B-Kid, it seems like he just absolutely hates it. He even blind bans that hero from time to time. Maybe that's changed a little bit as time has gone on, but he made it through, I believe. I don't think he was banned last game, so he still is there this game. But Warby is going to be the final ban coming out here by Rhythme. And we'll see what B-Kid finishes off with his 3rd and final ban. It is going to be that Silhouette, actually, with the final one. Pebbles standing out to me as an option left open on the board. We'll see.
Honestly, you know what's standing out to me is Legionnaire, because I don't see really any other junglers. I'm trying to look through. True. I mean, Parasite's banned, Ophelia's banned, Tempest banned, Keeper is banned, Warbeast is even banned.
Soul?
Wild Soul. Okay. Wow, my God, I totally missed that. I don't know what it is about.
He's blind
I think it's just honestly the placement of the portrait in here. I don't know. It just kind of like hides there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't believe Wild Soul's still in there. Anyway, I was thinking that was a smart ban coming out from Rhythme, getting rid of that Warbeast. It did seem like Complexity would probably pick up a jungler, seeing there are no junglers in that lock pick pool, but there's still a number of suicides to work with. So that kind of increases the value of picking up a jungler right now in the regular picking phase. I actually expect them to maybe pick up Wild Soul here. But Draconis is going to be first picked from Rhythmy.
Yeah, Draconis, kind of strong first pick, definitely, and it guarantees them that very, very good carry option. But there are still others on the board, such as that Forsaken Archon, hell, even that Mage Bane, as we saw, of course, last game. We'll see what BK decides to go here. Bane hacking before Haxel. Yeah. Haxford he has been playing a bit of Wretched Hag apparently lately too, where we're so used to seeing him in that hard carry role, but apparently they have strategies that bases around him playing a Hag actually instead of that more so that hard carry. But I guess maybe that's more so when Chessie perhaps picks up like a War Beast or maybe even a Wild Soul, something like that. So, anyways, B-Kid is spending a little bit of time here thinking about this, not snap picking any decisions like the last game, actually. I mean, it seemed like he really had a confident idea. This time around, making some decisions, and sure enough, you pointed it out, Legionnaire, really an option left open there, and sure enough, they pick it up as their jungle option, and Wretched Hag is going to be the other one, so.
Yeah. I honestly think that, Wild Soul did strike me as kind of interesting, but I will say in general, Wild Soul just works much better as a suicide. And with 3 different suicide heroes in that lock pool, I think that Legionnaire actually, this might be one of the 1 out of 100 times where Legionnaire might be a little bit better. That being said, I still think Wild Soul's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they wanted to secure that jungle. They know that there's obviously no jungle in that pool. They still want to use one, so they have to pick one up now.
Hey, Lord South Forest is still there. So's Predator.
Yeah, exactly. But, and there's Monkey King Aluna. I love to watch me some Monkey King play. I really do.
Yeah. He is a fun hero to watch, that's for sure.
They don't have a jungler to use, and I really think actually maybe Magmus might be the best thing and actually do a support mag. And go something like Mad Draconis lane, Monkey King Aluna mid, and then you have one of those 3 suicides to work with. So that might be their best bet here. That would be really strong, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, what about for complexity? You figure right here, is it going to be that carry option, or are they going to have Hax play that Wretched Hag and pick up a support here, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, it is going to be an Nymphora, yeah. So you look at the lock pool, I mean, there isn't a carry option in the sense of, that hard carry. So that kind of goes back to what I was talking about with Haxford has been playing a little bit of Wretched Hag lately, and they kind of build around that instead. So something different. I will say Legionnaire, speaking of him, Magnus is the first pick out of the lock pick. But Legionnaire has been played a lot lately, actually, by Gary Johnson 2012, specifically Z-Freak, actually, another great jungler player, of course. And he's been fun to watch, and he can have a very good role. So very, very interested to see him here. Bubbles, Moraxis, you're taking?
Yeah, I think they're going to go with a Moraxis Nymphora lane. What better lane to have, and then, of course, hero to have on top of Nymphora port with than Moraxis. And then Bubbles, this just seems like not only the best suicide hero for them right now, but, I mean, Moonmeander plays a fantastic Bubbles, so that seems pretty standard. And then right here, we're probably going to see, it's a toss-up. I don't know.
Rampage.
Well, this is going to be the suicide, and I'm getting that little bug thing again, but this is going to be their suicide hero. And against their team, to be honest, I think actually, okay, they're going to go with Plague. I was going to say actually maybe Pharaoh would be better. That was a toss-up. I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
But they're going to go with Plague. I think having the deny just might have sold them just a little bit right there.
Yeah.
That and the fact they're probably going to be going up against a solo short Wretched Hag, and Plague should do just fine.
All right. Good to see some Monkey King, though, and as you said, Jagged here going to be playing Monkey King, actually. Of course, he's the one that played Mage Bane last game, so switching up roles in a sense right there. Mr. Link played Bubbles last game, and he's actually going to play Draconis this time around, so fun stuff there. But, yeah, Monkey King, very, very, very entertaining hero if played in the right hands, and we've definitely seen a little bit of that lately. Obviously Cookies, known as the Monkey King player, but Style from Q Squad had an awesome Monkey King game recently, which actually there was a post on HoNtour.com about that game. It actually highlights the Monkey King kills with Q Squad versus Experience Gaming, written by one of the members on the HoN Tour staff, I should say. So go check it out after this match, or even during some downtime, and have a fun read right there, and get some fun highlights even of that match. But yeah, great hero to watch. We'll see where he's placed. I'm sure middle.
They're going to go, okay, they threw a little bit of different lanes than I thought. It's going to be a dual lane Plague and Magmus top, it looks like. Farm going on Magmus. Probably a dual lane, well, it actually could be a dual lane mid with a Luna Monkey King. And then solo short Draconis to go up against straight up that Bubbles. And I have to say, I kind of like it. Because obviously Draconis against Bubbles, I do favor Draconis, and Mr. Ling actually played fantastic last game. He was on Bubbles last time. So that's kind of an interesting little situation there. But Monkey King Aluna against one in, actually it's going to be 2 in mid probably, Nymphora and Moraxis, and I think that they should actually do just fine. That'll be an interesting lane to watch. But I kind of like these lane setups coming out from Have It.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. They literally changed their name in between games. It just happened. Sorry, I'm a little bit mesmerized by the courier here, the Caterpillar courier, actually on the HoN team. It's the first time I get to see it, so it's a fun little courier. Of course, one that you can win. I believe it's either I want to say the YouTube channel. If you just go to subscribe to it, you can actually get that. So. The S2 Games YouTube, that is. Anyways, but yeah, back to this game here. We have the laning phase coming about, so as you're kind of talking about, it's pretty obvious here. You know, Chessie actually going the Hatchet build here on Legionnaire. We see that from time to time. You know, the benefit of having that is obviously you can help with pulls, but also kind of cut through the trees and make stacking perhaps a little bit easier. So we'll see how that works out for him. The middle matchup, though, so Monkey King Aluna versus Moraxis and Amphora here. Do you see either side having an advantage? I mean, look at right off the bat there. Look at the harassment. Moraxis already down at least a third of his life there. Jeez.
I give the edge to Monkey King Aluna. And not just because I just saw that. But Aluna is just the superior support right here. Actually, good stun coming out from Franzi.
Wow.
And they're doing some harass of their own. So Monkey King taking a lot of damage. They're just going to have to pop that health potion pretty soon. So good job by Franzi finding that little opening. But nonetheless, Aluna is just a far superior support in this kind of dual lane. Just can do a lot more harassing than Amphora can to that Moraxis.
Well, exactly. I think it's the case as we saw right there, though. If Amphora can land that Zeal Stun, actually, which she goes for another attempt, is going to miss that time. But if she can land the Zeal Stun, by all means, they can have a chance actually at even getting a kill, as we even saw. But yeah, it is easier with Aluna. You know, just the presence, that power throw, it's almost guaranteed to hit somebody. You would hope so at least. And of course, with the Emerald Lightning Stun on top of that very, very powerful combination. So. Now, granted, you know, the levels start adding up. I'm sure having the Grace of the Nymph, feeding that to Moraxis, you can maybe spam those axes to an extent. Could be beneficial for him. We do see at the top lane, Haxer in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to portal away and be just fine. But clearly this Mag Plague... Take over, Trelf. I can't talk
Clearly
right now.
this Mag Plague Rider lane is just being a little bit too much for this big attack.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Works so well.
Oh, wow. Actually, Magnus just popped a Clarity Potion and then got it canceled immediately. And that's not anything to, like, not worry about. They have no more Clarity Potions up there. So he won't be able to stun. That's actually a really big deal and a big misplay by Carry-On.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. As you see right now, actually, the Illusion Plague Rider coming over from the side. So could have possibly been a kill opportunity here. But again, the fact that he can't stun right now, won't be able to stun for a little bit. He needs 140 mana. Really unfortunate. So... don't expect any kills to happen. A lot of harassment, though, from Plague Rider, and does force Haxer and, of course, portal away. Magnus will continue to free farm by all means, but yeah, missing out on a possible Bloodlust kill opportunity even. So,
oh yeah.
Bottom lane, though, actually middle lane, though, some more pressure being taken on Moraxis. You see Monkey King away in the front lines right there. I'm sure using the Heavenly Vault to kind of get up there, but not a kill, just harassment. But yeah, the bottom lane, Bubbles versus Draconis, and you know, similar to a Silhouette Silhouette Bubbles, just. Draconis should have a very good time down here, being played by Mr. Ling, who again had a great game last game.
Yeah, it's actually quite even though.
Middle lane.
So,
middle lane, Monkey King a lot of pressure, but he puts himself in a bad position with a tower. Bloodlust kill going to be countered on him as B-Kid gets credit for it. So that's a dangerous thing with Monkey King. Sometimes you can get a little bit too overzealous, and I think that was a case of it right there.
I caught the end of it, but it looked like a misplay. I mean, there's really no reason to be that far in that little awkward of a spot for Monkey King, so that's really unfortunate. And this is a lane I definitely give an edge to, Aluna Monkey King. So that's really, really bad for them. I will say, actually, Chessie just died to neutral creeps, it looks like, and he did. Did he spend his gold?
Oops. I mean, he said lol, so I'm assuming that he didn't, but maybe he did.
No, he has no gold right now.
Okay, he doesn't have any gold, so maybe he just figured that was the easy way out. It seemed like he was trying to run away at the last second, though. I had my camera on him, actually, so I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but in the end, you know, like, as you're about to say, though, it's probably not the worst steal in the world. Does he have anything on him, though? Okay.
No.
Okay, he has a life tube, yeah. So we did it by the life
tube. That was on purpose, and maybe he's trying to do some mind games and tell them, haha,
yeah,
all right, we're in a better spot because Legionnaire died to neutrals, but he actually planned it.
Yeah.
And I will say that, you know, it has a bad rap sometimes. Actually, double damage rune spawning top. Beak is going to bottle that up, so it's going to be very good for him. He's probably going to give that to Nympphora to give some extra damage to her. But I will say a lot of times, actually, that's a very, very useful strategy. Being able to just die like that. And look at him, he's actually level 5, so Chessie's having a great time in the jungle right there.
Yeah, well, he comes back to the camp that killed him and going to just continue to clean it off. So getting some revenge right there even. But yeah, you're right. It's actually a legitimate strategy. I mean, it's not to see that pop up. It's always still a funny message to see pop up. But yeah, you see right there, Chessie making it very clear that he's the first level 6 in the game and very fast, mind you. I mean, experience per minute chart. You see right here, Draconis is very close, going to be level 6 himself shortly. But Legionnaire already level 6. Farm looking very good in that sense, at least. Middle lane, no, I thought we might have had some harassment. Bottom lane, though, Draconis applying a lot of pressure to Moonmeander on Bubbles right here. The final auto attack going to come out, not nearly enough for a kill again, but Draconis is no doubt keeping the pressure up. He's 24-12. Moonmeander, though, 16-5, so he's actually not managing too poorly in terms of creep kills himself. Back to the middle lane, though, Monkey King trying to get away. Actually, the last axe will land. Yes, well, the double damage are going to be enough for the final auto attack coming out from B-Kid. So catching the tail end of that, but again, this Monkey King Luna lane, which you keep going back to, should maybe win this lane. It's not working out too well so far.
Well, anything can happen after you already give up 1 kill.
Yeah.
So if another kill happens, I know that's kind of expected sometimes, but to begin with, he just should have never died that first time, and that could steamroll it right after that. He is farming considerably better than P-Kid on Meraxis, but the GPM doesn't reflect that. Obviously, Meraxis having 2 kills, one of them being, I think, Bloodlust. So, yeah, Beak is off to a great start as a result.
Oh, Legionnaire wants to get in range for a decapitate, but great hero blocking right there from Carry On, actually. Playing Magnus, a great initial stun, but yeah, it's very good with hero blocking because if Legionnaire was able to get close enough, I didn't look at the exact numbers, but I believe he would have been able to just decapitate him right off the bat. So obviously Plague Rider does port away in time, going to regen and head back towards the top lane, so good getaway and preventing a kill chance right there, but Legionnaire showing that he's not going to be too passive here in the jungle. He's going to be aggressive somewhat and even attempting to set up a gank right there. Now, he does drop low. Once again, he doesn't have any regen on him other than the live tube, so it's just going to kind of be a slow regen. Needs to be careful against this triple stack camp right here. Is he going to go back in? I believe he is with the charge. Is it going to be enough for the kill that will limit? It's going to be close. Okay. I don't think this would be a purpose kill, but he is able to get away and actually health push and deliver. Going to be fine. Plague Rider running over. Lucky for Legionnaire, though, he wasn't nearby. Wretched Hag actually taking the contagion nuke. Magma's coming in, but I believe Hag's going to be able to blink away. And we'll be fine at the end. Oh, well, look at a hasten Monkey King, though. He's going to run into Legionnaire right here. Is going to be enough for a kill. Wanji Slim comes out. There's the little bit of... Oh, no Heavenly Vault, actually. And will not be a kill as a result. This is some interesting stuff. Moraxis actually now going to Luna with Legionnaire. And Aluna's going to barely get away. Nymphora does get picked off when it's all said and done. But Aluna is going to fall to Moraxis here. However, it's not over just yet. Here we go. Let's continue. Wanji Slim comes out. There's a jumping around Moraxis with that Arcane Shield. It does activate right there as a result of the Heavenly Vault attempt, I believe. So he's going to be fine. Legionnaire with the taunt. Does he have a decapitate? No, he does not. Of course, not nearly enough mana. Magnus will survive. This middle lane is just so crazy. Monkey King does enough there with the Legionnaire. And Rhythme gets credit for the kill. What just happened?
Monkey King. Monkey King happened. I will say initially, though, I saw that haste rune on Monkey King, and Magnus was right behind the Nymphora. And the communications just seem to be a little bit slow this game. But nonetheless, it's very even. Look at Mr. Lings. I want to see how he's doing up in this. Actually, Bubbles is winning this lane. Bubbles is winning this lane. He's 35-12 against Draconis. And I will say that's not crazy. Like, Bubbles can win the lane. He does actually have good damage with his spells. If he gets, like if he cancels a health potion or something like that and then gets his bottle, or if he actually didn't get bottle this time, but went for the Ring of the Teacher. He has potential to win the lane, but he shouldn't. So, yeah, kind of interesting.
He's doing very good down here. I mean, I'm very shocked by that, actually, but I thought I maybe saw for a poor, but no, she's not even level 6 yet, so that would be impossible. Bubbles, though, he's going to continue to kind of have lane control here to an extent. I mean, he's level 7 as well. As you said, he's winning in the creep farm, so very good right now. And lane is pushed up, and he will need to be a little bit careful because Magnus is actually coming in. Magnus with those early Ghost Marchers, of course, and the power supply. If they combo for a kill right here, this could be bad for Moon Meander, but Moon kind of feels maybe something a little bit up. They're literally right next to each other, but they cannot see each other just yet. There we go. Magnus going to find Bubbles right here. Will he stun just yet? I don't know if he's going to. Bubbles trying to get a range, trying to get a position to Shell Surf away right here. He does the Song of the Sea, the Shell Surf, and there we go. Going to be fine for now. Monkey King running over, though. Bubbles not out of the woods just yet. Nymphora going to support, however. Grace of the Nymph comes out, and Bubbles will be fine when it's all said and done. So, pretty well played by Moon Meander right there. Legion team tried to collapse, and they used a lot of resources, actually, not to get anything out of it.
I feel like Magnus maybe could have stunned right there because it is only a 0.1 second silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 0.1. it's nothing. And I saw when he ported the shell surf, he was very far away. So I feel like there maybe was a window, but it's difficult. I know, I'm not going to give him crap. But nonetheless, he does get away, and frees up just a little tiny bit of time for Draconis, but he's right back in this bottom lane to fend him off. And I will say, once you start to have that lead, once you build on that lead, it just becomes that much worse for whoever you're winning against.
Yeah. Hag was loving that. I mean, he got some free time here at the top lane while all that happened at bottom. So good distraction in his favor. I mean, he's still struggling quite a bit, but he definitely recovered. And Hag's, he's kind of used to that at times, as we saw last game. Well, no, not last game even, but we've seen in the past where he gets kind of locked down. But this time, again, not the greatest, but he's doing enough to get by. The fact that we keep going back to bubbles though at the bottom lane, as well as he's doing, is pretty bad news here for the Legion team. And something to keep in mind also, this Nymphora Moraxis combination. Nymphora is getting close to level 6, so not saying we're going to see ports right away by any means, but expect some points as this game goes on here at the top lane. Wretched Hag in a little bit of trouble, but Magnus down a lot of trouble. The Bat Blast and the Decapitate. Okay, I think that was a little bit of overkill, but they got the kill, so that's what matters. And Magnus just unfortunately got caught out there.
Yeah, and that's kind of a cool courier.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But just if you look at the CS overall, it's like you have 4 people basically getting good farm, and it's just simply running a jungler versus not running a jungler. If you're not running a jungler, you need to win your lanes better. As simple as that. And they didn't put Hag down enough with his Magnus Plague Rider lane. They didn't do well enough mid. And at the same time, you have a jungler like Legionnaire who is the top. Is he top farming game? He's pretty close.
Yeah.
Just a little bit under Moraxis, actually. But he does have 70 creep kills. It's pretty insane. Is that a counter ward for the Hellborn team? Yeah, it is actually. So they did spot out Monkey King being invis, and he's going to have to back away.
Yeah, Franzi literally placed it right on top of him, which is pretty funny. But we do see Bubbles and Draconis going out in the meantime in the bottom lane. But look back at the middle lane. Monkey King doing his Monkey King thing. Magnus stunning in. Moraxis in a lot of trouble. Moraxis, he gets the ultimate off in the last second. And this is Moraxis, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to turn things around, perhaps. No, he's just going to fall back. Will survive for now. Will he live when it's all said and done? It's going to explode any second. There we go. So a lot of damage, actually. He uses the Arcane Shield. It's not going to matter, though. Great Zeal stuff from Franzi. Just not going to matter. So great patience right there. Good pursuing coming out from our Legion team, and they end up with a kill when it's all said and done, but definitely took a lot longer than they wanted.
That was a little bit of a mistake from B-Kid, not going to lie. He could have just ran away with that ultimate, but he tried to actually man up just a little bit on the Magnus, as he's probably saying, "I know, bitch," in Skype or something. But unfortunately, being a bitch sometimes gets you killed.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
not being a bitch.
That would suck, wouldn't it, if being a bitch got you killed? But no, in this case, not being a bitch got B-Kid killed.
Yes,
that's what I meant to say.
That's what happened. Wow, Chessie is level 11, man. He's got his Helmet of the Black Legion in his boots. He has 1150 gold saved up. He has been a farming machine here in the jungle, no doubt. So he is going to have a huge impact, I'm sure. Whether or not he upgrades his boots here or just goes straight into Portal Key even. We'll see which route he goes. But it's going to be Power Supply and Mystic Vestments, apparently. So wants to get some more minor items before he gets that can safely assume an eventual portal key here. And again, Hax, she is not taking off by any means as Haxrin, but every now and then he gets a little bit of free time to farm, and he takes advantage of it. He's now up to 212 gold per minute, not too shabby. He's got his steam boots, he's bringing the teacher, a power supply. He's doing enough for his team right now. As is Moon Meander, we keep going back to him. Granted, Draconis is his creep score has kind of started to raise back up, but still, Moon Meander's accomplished quite a lot here at the bottom lane. Top lane, the red stun coming out. That's going to be 2 seconds. The Lava Surge on top of that, and in comes Monkey King for the finish. So, whereas we're talking about Haxrin having a good time up here doing enough, he unfortunately gets ganked. And now maybe a push here at the top lane. We'll see. Yeah,
the only thing about Chessie, and I mean, he's farming great. He's got a very high level. I will say that he's going for tons of build-up items. And, well, good job actually from Franzi having this stack. So before that stack, actually, he was sitting at, like, basically no gold. And bam, has 1,000. So I was just going to talk about how he's far away from his portal key, but never mind, because now he's not really that far away.
Yeah.
But had he not had that opportunity to get those stacks, I don't know if building a full power supply is really the smartest thing. And even investments at this point, I think having that gotcha potential early on with a Legionnaire who is farming this well is a little bit stronger.
Well, again, I think the big thing is the levels. The fact that he has a level 2 Decapitator already, if they're at 450 life or lower, he will one-shot you. And you look at the Legion team. I mean, there's obviously no one's that low right now, but, you charge, you portal key in, you charge them, an auto attack, and you can decapitate them, really. at this rate. So yeah, very, very big to have that. But you know, going the earlier items first. We do see at the top lane, Aluna's in a lot of trouble here. She'll be caught out. Center Stream going to be used, and actually Chessie does get credit for the kill right there using the charge. So he'll gladly take that. And the rest of the Legion players, they do fall back. So again, not the worst deal in the world. They just lost the ward bitch support casualty. But Draconis is going to try to counter push at the bottom lane in the meantime. I don't know if the Hellborn team is going to really be able to react to this because they did use a couple homecoming stones. Moraxis does have one on him right now. They do have Nymphora, who didn't get her ultimate, though, at level 6, actually. So the tower is going to fall up top here, though. We'll see if the bottom tower falls as a result, too.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe his thinking is, I want to time my ultimate to when Moraxis gets his portal key, but sometimes you don't know when that's going to be. Like, you don't know if he's going to get a couple lucky kills. Oh.
The lane Monkey King going to fall. The tower is going to be denied. Magnus just sits back. He's going to get a little bit of harassment there. He will be fine. But great response from Complexity. They chose to counter the middle lane. They do very well. The bottom lane does go down, but at least they made the best of that situation right there, no doubt. So well played by Complexity there.
Yeah, definitely. And I've said over and over, if you know that you're up in gold and experience and whatnot, you should not be trading towers. You should at least be defending. They did get the bottom tower destroyed, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, I will say in general, Draconis' farm is pretty low right now. Like, I don't know if they've really been doing any stacking at all. They have this ancient stack maybe once, but he's not been utilizing stacks in the jungle. His farm in CS is very, very low for Draconis. And that's unfortunate when you have Legionnaire who's farming so well. But, oh yeah, we were talking about Nymphora. Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. Like, you don't know how slowly you're going to go from level 6 to 7. You don't know how fast Moraxis is going to get that portal key. So I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a misclick. I think his thinking was just simply, Moraxis isn't close to a portal key yet, and
well, there we go.
Yeah, he has it right now. This is why I'm saying it's a mistake. I'm saying that he should definitely level that ultimate up.
Yeah, that is interesting. But in the end, no, I gotta think he's close to 7. I mean, again, his experience isn't the greatest by any means, but a couple more kills, at least being nearby, and very likely could hit level 7. Then I would hope to think that he's gonna get the ultimate at that point. So, but yeah, the double portal key picked up just like that between Moraxis and Legionnaire. Never mind. Yeah, no, he does have a can. We see Wretched Egg at the top lane. The tower is going to be destroyed, so wasn't able to deny it, but he's going to portal key out, or homecoming stone out, I should say, before he gets dropped. So good pressure being applied by our Legion team there. But you have Legionnaire especially. Again, he's level 13.
Yeah, he just picked up Kraka too.
Massive.
Like instantly.
Did he? Oh, wow, yeah.
Just destroyed.
Totally missed that.
But
okay.
One thing I was really going to mention too. Oh yeah, I just got mentioned. I can't believe I didn't see this because sometimes you miss things that are just like shouldn't be there. But Magnus has 2 power supplies.
What?
Yeah.
He does have a power supply.
He has an upgraded one and a non-upgraded one. I'm pretty sure they don't share cooldown. Or I'm pretty sure they do share cooldowns.
Yeah.
That's what I mean to say.
Sure, they do. I don't think you can get like 30 charges between the two. That would be silly. We do see at the top lane, or the jungle though, Draconis actually gets picked off here. And, well, Nymphora, obviously level 7. She got the ultimate, and lo and behold, it helps set up a kill. Monkey King in the middle, and nice portal key from Chessie right there, preventing Monkey King from jumping on him. And he'll be fine for now, and Complexity could group up and maybe try to counter here. But yeah, it seems like Complexity, they're starting to build up more and more momentum as this game goes on. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Magnus having that it's strange for sure. Don't know what to do with that is. I gotta think that is a misclick, but
yeah.
Oh well,
I mean, you might as well sell it. Like,
yeah, what Mana Battery literally does nothing for you if you can't use it. So.
Yep.
No
anyway, portal key is up on Bubbles. That's going to be good for him. Obviously, Legionnaire has that portal key. It's been doing work. You got a portal key on Moraxis, and you got a blink on Hag. So this is what Complexity likes to do. They like to jump in your face with a bunch of portal keys, burst you down, then run away. That's what
they can easily do that this game. Double damage picked up by Moraxis right there. So B-Kid's doing fantastic when it comes to the rune control this game. Seems like he's had quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, Draconis, you talked about this earlier. His farm just really hasn't been taken off by any means. He's going to go over the Ancients right here, right as I say that. They are double stacked currently. He might just wait to triple stack them and then eventually do them. It looks like that's what he's going to go for. Yeah, the other portal key now, I'm moving into the 3 portal keys over here, though. God, that's just so much Gaia potential on top of the Wretched Hag, the Nymphora. Ridiculous lineup in that sense. So Draconis is going to do triple stacked Ancients right here. At least that's the idea. And maybe his GPM will... it will jump up as a result of this, maybe take over as a top on the team. But, I mean, right now only 280. We do see the bottom lane, though. Bubbles finds Magnus, gets him killed by himself. He's going to shell surf away from Monkey King, actually, before he can get jumped. And he'll be fine. And 4 is actually porting in. Monkey King realizing he's in a little bit of trouble, maybe heard it or even saw it. And he's going to go back to the tower. where he's going to be fine. So Legionnaire not going to get that kill, but actually Aluna's going to get caught over here by the Kelfield. Legionnaire, oh, that's not Legionnaire, that's Meraxis. And Meraxis will let them know who he is. He jumps in, kills Aluna right there. And Plague thought about ulting even, but held it back. So another gank set up, and expect that to continue here from Complexity.
Yeah, and it's still relatively early on, but I'm almost willing to just say like this is looking pretty like over.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Draconis has nothing. He's got very, very little farm. Even if he gets a Null Stone, like that's not really going to help you at all. I mean, obviously, Wretched Hag spells are all just AoE damage and just a cone of damage. It helps a little bit against Legionnaire, I suppose. Doesn't help anything against Bubbles. Doesn't help anything against Meraxis. Doesn't help anything against Nephora. The only thing that helps you do is regen some HP in life to farm more. But really, do you want to farm more when you're down this much and you have these aggressive blinks coming out? Like, you can't.
Yeah.
So they're just in a horrible, horrible position. And Monkey King does almost have it. Looks like he's going to go for a Shrunken Head, which is great. I'm always a fan of Shrunken Head, as you probably know. And Magnus almost does have his blink, so it's not over just yet. They can maybe take like another big team fight or something, but you know, Complexity, it's hard to get them when they're up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's actually what you said at the very end there. That's very, very true. I mean, it's one thing to be ahead. And as we saw last game for Arena Online Esports, with them being in the lead for most of it and then still not be able to come to the victory, it's another thing to be down but this much. We see at the top lane, again, a case of Nymphora porting in a Portal Key teammate, gets the easy kill. Monkey King going balls to the wall right here. He might kill Nymphora. Nice kill at the last second. The power to say there's a Plague coming out, though, and it will finish off Nymphora, but at what cost now? Legionnaire trying to turn this around some more. Legionnaire, the beefy tank that he is, he puts the taunt up, giving himself some armor. The Ghost March is going to be his nice dodge right there. Portal Key in 2 seconds. He's going to use it 1 second. And there we go. In fact, he goes back in, actually, on a Plague Rider and finishes him off. So man-up time coming out from Chessie. He's in a lot of trouble now, though, as a result of that. Will he somehow survive? Bat Blast, no, the pushback. The Bat Blast comes out. The Sonar Scream Monkey trying to chase him down. The final line of attack from Draconis. The fire comes out, but Legionnaire will survive. Wretched Hag ports away Legionnaire. He is so good. He does have a power supply in 1 second. He's going to use it right there. He portal gets away. He wants another kill. The charge comes out. The kill onto Aluna. Chessie is the absolute man mode right now. Monkey King, he needs to be careful, actually, not to get turned on himself. He's going to go, obviously, with his flying nymphs right there. Going to try to get close enough, but the portal key from Legionnaire. And Chessie will survive. Wow. That was amazing.
That was pretty fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. That was really, really impressive. I think the initial jump onto Plague Rider, because I was thinking maybe they knew Nymphora was porting actually, and in the meantime, Moomiander takes out Jagged, and then actually Carry On dies to B-Kid very instantly with all that burst. But initially I thought, okay, so he had an idea. He was gonna blink in back to the Plague because he knew that his team was coming. But nope, they weren't really on the way. He was just manning up. Wow. And that was pretty fun to watch.
That was, dare I say, top play worthy. What do I dare say? I mean, that is top play worthy, no doubt. I mean, that was unbelievable play by Chessie coming out right there. Just the whole sequence, you gotta appreciate the man up and to have it work so well like it did right there is always awesome to witness. But yeah, on more the game note though itself, this game is getting very out of hand now. We're 23 minutes. Wow, 23 minutes into the game, it's 10,000 gold lead, 15,000 experience. They're going to kill Draconis again right here as Chessie just bursts him down. He's level 17. He needs somebody to be at 625 life or less, and he will decapitate them. Look at Aluna. Look at Plague. Look at everyone here on the Legion team. He can literally jump in, charge, and decapitate anyone here on the Legion team.
He can auto-attack Plague Rider, I'm pretty sure. And then
yeah, and then decapitate. It's out of hand.
We should actually ask Plague Rider to drop his power supply so that we can just see him ulted at full HP.
Not often you get a chance for that. Yeah, this game is 99.9% over, I think is safe to say here. It's Arena Online Esports. They gave it a great effort. They really did. An impressive team. I am very looking forward to seeing them, how they play in the Gold Division as a result of the loss here, most likely. But the road, unfortunately, will end just short here of making the Diamond. What this will mean, though, if the results were stand as they are, Complexity will be moving on to Diamond here. So when it's all said and done, you know, again, with them having to forfeit the first round, drop into the losers bracket right off the bat, there was a lot of cases of, oh my God, they might not make Diamond because of this. But in the end, they are going to make Diamond, it looks like. So let's be honest, we can all be happy about that. I mean, the teams themselves, everyone, the spectators. So
Yep.
That'll be good for them. Look at the bottom lane right now. It's literally a pub train.
Nice. Nice.
They're all following each other. All right, this is clearly
They
a
might actually be successful.
case of.
They might actually be successful.
Here we go. Here we go. They're gonna jump in right here. Magma stuns and all the follow up, and the complexity will melt away. It works. The pub train officially works, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Against complexity, that's all you need to do.
Just pub train, and you'll win. That was pretty entertaining too. Well, at least they're giving us some entertainment here. That was really
In the meantime, the middle is being pushed in though. And
Yep.
Bubbles will fall back before too much comes out, but yeah, so having some fun right there clearly, but complexity now going to respond themselves. Monkey King going to get caught out right here, and the Decapitate, the dodging going on, but Decapitate will finally come out, and Chessie is officially a champion of New Earth here. He's now 9-2-2, so making the big plays again. You got to wonder, though, clearly it's at a point where our Legion team, it's even they kind of feel like it is over. Having some fun like that, but I got to wonder when it's officially going to be over. But Draconis sees you actually won a Mighty Blade after the Sustainer, so kind of a mix in between. But another Nymph4 port in, this time with more access. Bubbles also joins the party. Aluna doing some great sidestepping, actually, but in the end it will fall. Bubbles trying to chase Draconis. But Draconis still has a homecoming zone cooldown of 10 seconds, but they figure he's probably ported out by now. And they're just going to keep pushing here.
I mean, this is to the point where if you're up this much, Nymph4 just makes it so unbearable to play. Like, I would honestly just throw in the towel because there's nothing you can do against Nymph4 and this much farm on their team. There's really, literally nothing you can do. There's no way that Draconis is going to out-farm. Monkey King is not that good, guys, to be able to come back in this game from this much of a deficit. And, yeah, complexity just looking fantastic as usual. Demonic Breastplate now picked up onto Chessie, so he's going to have that to work with. It looks like Astrolabe is in the works for little old Franzi there, playing that Nymphora.
Yeah, you mentioned this at least at the kind of going into this game even, where, not to take anything away by any means from Arena Online Esports or whatever they're called now, the Have It or whatever, because they did play it very well. They really did, especially in Game 1. It was a lot of fun to watch. But, in the end, it kind of does seem like maybe Complexity was kind of shaking off some jitters there. Not even jitters, but, some rust of going and waking up today. I know for Beacon especially. It's 9 a.m. He has to wake up, God forbid. So, had to deal with that. But in the end, Game 2 clearly kind of makes a statement that, Game 1 may not have been their best. Game 2, though, this is the Complexity that we're used to seeing. And this is the domination from them. That's the same that we're used to seeing. They're going to try to concede right here. You see Monkey King is going to fall. But GGs are being called, so perhaps it is going to become official here. And Complexity will be officially qualifying for Diamond. In fact, there we go. It is official. Complexity will move on to the losers bracket round of 8, which once again does guarantee them Diamond. As far as Have It, as they change their names in between games there, they're going to be making gold. But again, nothing to scoff at either. Gold is a great division. It's obviously just below Diamond. You do well in the gold division, you finish top 4, I think it is in gold after the first cycle. Hey, you're in Diamond, and this is a team I wouldn't be surprised to see in there, to be honest. So.
Yeah, gold, you're still making a lot of money, guys. It's still a great division to be in. And you were mentioning, too, this last game that Complexity just seemed like, in Game 1, they were not themselves. They did not look characteristic of the Complexity that we know. And I would go and then they were much better in Game 2. I would go even further and just say that, honestly, I think that the Game 1 result had a lot to do with how Have It played the next game. Mm-hmm. And they played really well. Like Mr. Ling on Bubbles in the long lane was amazing. Yeah. Fantastic jungling by Crockett. Everyone just seemed to play fantastically, and just all seemed to be a different game. I think they were just a little bit depressed for Game 1, and I would be too. So it just sucks. But they still get gold. Complexity obviously gets diamond, so that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how the results are looking for these two teams specifically. Obviously, there's many more matches that were played, and of course, you can go to the HoNtour.com. The brackets on there, and they are live updated for the most part. So you go to the bracket section, you can see kind of some match results that are happening of all the other round of 16 of the loser bracket matches that are happening right now. So definitely check that out. But that does mean our coverage for at least our first portion today is going to be coming to a conclusion here. So with it being 2 Eastern, the next round of matches are actually set to happen in about an hour and a half from now. So that'll be 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, which of course is 21:30 Central European time. So that's when we'll be coming back for our winners bracket matchup, ladies and gentlemen. And what a matchup we have for you guys. We have Vitriolic is going to be taking on Domain of Pain. Of course, Domain of Pain, formerly known as the Returners. But, you know, Angry Testy, I've heard he has a fairly large fan base, so intrigued to see how he does against Vitriolic, who's, as I said in HoN 2 Weekly, I really wasn't expecting too much out of these guys going in. You know, maybe make Diamond, if not Gold, but they're obviously qualified for Diamond now. And I've watched them a couple times lately, and they do look pretty impressive. So that should be a great best out of 3 there.
Yeah, it should be fun. I think both teams have been theory crafting now for days and days, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, obviously they've had a little bit of time here knowing who they're going to play the last couple of days. So that will be happening about an hour and a half from now, so definitely tune back in then. But for now, of course, we're going to close the stream, and we'll be coming back at that time. So just the last couple of shout-outs here. There's actually one mention, or a couple mentions that I want to make. One being HoNcast.com, if actually you go to, which for me it seems to maybe even be down. But anyways, it should be coming back up shortly. And our news section, there's actually a news article that was just posted earlier today. We're bringing back the HoNcast Top 10 Community Ranking. So that was officially coming back today. So, you know, how that works, you know, we get polls from community members, from top players, and we add them all up and see what really, you know, in a sense, obviously at a small scale, but what the community's thinking as far as who the top teams out there are. So have a lot of fun, you know, looking over that. Shout out to Fantasy. He's the one that put the article together when it's all said and done. And, you know, just another fun feature, a fun article to look at, and fun discussion points to have. So definitely check that out. As far as that goes, I think we're wrapping up here. So any final words from yourself, Tro?
Well played to, I want to say well played to have it. I think they surprised people.
They did.
I got to say, I know you were actually saying, well, it's probably just going to, it might just be a stomp. I don't know if we want to cast it. I did know that there was actually some pretty good players on that team.
Yeah.
And you got to give a lot of credit to them. I mean, they are playing complexity. And I think they brought their A game, especially in Game 1. So big shout out to have it.
They did. And like I said, it would not surprise me in the least. Sure, they're starting goal, but to see them by cycle 2 in that Diamond Division, very, very skilled team, and a team that you could even say deserves to be there. Just unfortunately, they ran into complexity.
I know.
As you've stated several times yourself, you know, that could happen. So. And sure enough, it did for them. So, but yeah, so those are the results for this matchup. And again, Vitriolic versus Domain of Pain. That is going to be coming up in just about an hour and a half from now. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time to wrap up here. Going to be turning off the stream, but once again, come back in about an hour and a half, and we'll have another great best of the 3 coming at you. For myself, Breaking CPK, joining me, Terrell from Medora. Shout out to Killer Orange. Follow us on Twitter at TrellFon.
And at Breaking CPK.
Have some fun, guys. We'll see you an hour and a half from now. Vitriolic taking on Domain of Pain. See ya.